Two Jack Bros! Two Jack Bros!
Welcome back to Two Jack Bros, and if it's your first time, welcome to you, and thank you for giving us a shot. I am Sidney. I am sitting next to Ansley.
Hello.
And today our guest is none other than the Dave Topor.
What's up? What's up?
What is going on, Dave?
Thanks for having me.
Man, thanks for being here. I'm very excited about this. Dave is a person that I've known for a long time, and now is... I'm sure you don't bill yourself this way, but you have to be probably the funniest trainer on earth.
Whoa, on Earth?
I would say so.
I thought we'd start like a top 10 ranking, but thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, it's definitely a strong part of how to distract people.
Yeah. So, Dave, are you okay with me saying this? Like, that we met in comedy. You were a comedian. Yeah, Dave is a comedian. We met.
It's part of my past. I'm not ashamed of it.
Yeah,
I did stand up, and I'll admit it.
Yeah, so now Dave is living a real life, which is awesome. And I'm excited to get into this with you.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to be here. It's I can't believe, just reflecting before the show started, how long I've known you.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you in a while. It's great to be here.
It's awesome. So you know what we do in this podcast, Dave?
Yeah, I'm somewhat aware.
Okay. Cool. So the premise of the podcast is to prove that you can have a dark sense of humor, or just any sense of humor, and still reach enlightenment or a higher consciousness.
Yeah, absolutely.
So basically...
Enlighten me. Let's open these doors that can't be shut.
Yes. So basically what we do is we take our guest, who today is you, Dave Topor, through the process of enlightenment so that our listeners and Ansley and myself can laugh our way to a higher consciousness while you do all the hard work.
Yeah, man. Put the workload on me. Let me work.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that attitude.
Yes.
Maybe like taps out on the first question.
Just bring up my dark past and then learn from it, please.
All right, let's do it. So, Dave, everybody gets the same questions on the podcast. Ansley, let's get started.
Dave, what experience or situation did you learn the most information from?
Experience or situation that I've learned the most from. An exact event or like a style of event?
However it strikes you.
I'd say, I learned probably the most from going outside, my comfort zone. I know it sounds cliche, but either through like traveling or through like loss or something like that is probably where I gained the most lessons.
All right. Is there a specific travel that you want to use as an example to illustrate?
Yeah. So after college, I was lucky enough. I traveled to Europe. They lost my luggage.
Europe lost your luggage?
The union.
Europe.
It was the union. It changes. I don't know. What is it? Nordo? What's the union? Whatever it is. Nonetheless, thank you. One of those places. I have my own Cold War going on.
Yeah.
But I had to travel for like 2 months with just my carry-on, and there was lessons learned that apparently have been forgotten, because I don't know what those lessons were, but it was like appreciation, something about not needing stuff and just simplifying something.
Where'd you go?
And wearing the same shirt in every picture is okay. Very specific lessons.
Where'd you go in Europe?
Just country hopping all around.
Yeah.
Who were you traveling with?
2 friends.
2 friends. So after college, you and 2 friends.
Just 2 friends who
had
probably remember me as like, remember that laundry boy we brought to Europe? Guy who carried our laundry? That was cool. Glad we brought that guy.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, it was a good lesson that, don't worry about all those other things. Like you're in this great moment. Gratitude can change things, a lot. So that was a good lesson there, losing my luggage.
Yeah. But you still ended up having a good time, is what you're saying?
Yeah, not in the moment. I was young. Later, I was like, oh, that was fun, right? I was like a 23-year-old brat in the moment. I was like by like a 2,000-year-old like temple, like whatever. Just being a fucking idiot. Yeah. But so later I reflected. I was like, that was a fun trip I had. That was a fun trip.
Do you ever think back on that trip and wish you had more fun?
Oh yeah.
What would you have done?
There was too much poutiness. A lot of pouting.
Yeah.
It was like city, train, pout. learned that my luggage. And then the funny thing is, after the whole thing, like 2 months later, my luggage shows up at like my mom's office somehow with like all these tags. It like went on its own tour. I was like, I didn't even go to that country. I didn't even go to Turkey. How did my... I'm like, open it up. It's like all pristine. I'm like, yeah, could have used that. Could have used that. But I had fun.
So you did the whole trip without luggage. Like you never...
Whole trip. Had to carry on and...
And you didn't have enough money to like buy and restock up. Like I'm
definitely
assuming
not. From the time I brought that sweatshirt in some city and was like, the whole time I'm wearing it, I'm like stressing. I was like, guys, I'm going to return this sweatshirt actually. It's beyond my means. The same shirt's fine. The same shirt's fine. Lesson's been learned. I'm just going to wear that same shirt.
So if you could go back in time and catch yourself right at the moment where you realized as a youth that your luggage was gone and you're about to go into this trip pouty and you can say one thing to that Dave Topor, what would you say to him?
I mean, I would say think about what's ahead of you. Think about this opportunity, and it has nothing to do with that bag of stuff, of clothes and all that. You obviously can't get any more clothes, so that's not going to happen. But you do have some clothes on you, and that's what's important. But again, back to the task. You have a great trip ahead of you, and then try to focus on that because in the end, you're going to really remember all these memories, not what you wore. And look at the pictures with the one shirt.
What do you think young Dave Topor would say to that?
I think young Dave Topor would say, "Screw you! I need a change of underwear."
Yeah. Right. Who was that gay old man that looked like me?
I remember I was in Europe with my dad after I'd been abroad, and I didn't have conditioner, and it like ruined my 2 days until I got conditioner. Like my hair's so dry.
See, this is why I unlearn lessons. I'm like, so I was validated. I should have been upset.
Yeah.
I was like, I need contact solution. You don't get it.
Wow. I've never been out of the country. It must be nice.
Lesson relearned.
Yeah. Guys, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
You guys just described awesome trips to Europe.
It was great. It was great.
It's cool. All right, so that's all right. Now, so if you had to, and I think you already did this, but if you just had to distill what that lesson is that you got from that experience, how would you sell it? What
just in this moment, I did realize that I combined that travel and loss into one, and that wasn't my. I told you a story that just combined both my learning things. So that was pretty sweet. If you guys didn't catch that, just rewind and you'll see the mastery of storytelling. What was your question?
So how would you...
I do these all the time. I'm really smooth. I'm just really experienced here.
How would you distill what you learned from that experience?
Right.
Yeah, just like into like a sentence or a tagline.
How would I distill what I learned? I mean... you can have this is really what it was. I was entitled to be upset, but apply the right emotion and then keep it moving because, there's really all these other things that are going to be a shadow cast on, just focused on this one little thing when there's all these other positive things floating around. So that's really the lesson. I was just don't focus on that. There's all these things to focus on. You'll be surprised.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good lesson.
Yeah.
All right. Now, from here on, Dave, what we do is we open up the chakras.
Probably sit up straight for that.
That's probably a good idea.
Get the energy flowing.
Yeah, get that spine aligned.
Right.
You make it a little easier to open those up.
Explains these chairs.
That's why we have the chairs.
The Target chakra collection.
Yeah. Okay, so the first chakra, I have to say this, the first chakra is physiologically located in the butthole. Are you okay with that?
I knew it. Not because it's tingling or anything. I was just like, it's definitely going to be the butt.
Okay, so but you do got some tingling?
Not a lot.
Okay, all right. It is inappropriate to ask a man about his butthole tingling.
Yeah.
I apologize.
A normal,
I overstepped the boundary.
A normal amount.
Yeah.
Normal amount.
Clear.
Normal amount. Okay. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that tingle waxes or wanes.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can wax or wane.
See, I don't have
tingle.
enough podcast experience to be like, this is normal, right? This is part of it.
Yeah. All right. Ansley,
Yes.
open up Dave's fear chakra.
All right. Dave, how did you learn to overcome fear?
Oh, man. Well, honestly, I don't think I fully have. That's like a very thank you for just assuming I have that look. I don't fear anything. I don't know. I think that's like a lifelong like journey. I think you're never really, like, I don't know. I think it's all depends like the situation, but I try to not overthink things. That's like my biggest thing. Like, I think that's where fear comes from, just coming up with the infinite possibility of the situation or something.
Yeah.
And not allowing logic to insert itself. But I'm scared. If like a spider came in here, I'd be like, yeah, fear's like, oh God. So I think it's just like depends on context, but I'm always striving to like insert logic. I think logic's like the combatant of fear.
Okay. Well, let's say this. I mean, as far as fear is concerned, you started a business. You started a physical training business.
You insert them.
Spiders, fires, fears. No, but you started a physical training business in the middle of a pandemic. You're doing fine, which is awesome. But like that seems terrifying to me.
Yeah, that's where like you just like when you're like thinking comes to a certain line, you go past that line, you're like, oh, that could be. You're just like, let's back it up then, right to where like I don't want to. Where the scary stuff is, like where you have the happy thoughts, like just opening it. Don't think about when it's open. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
But opening it's fun. That's great and exciting. Don't think about when it's actually open. That's the scariest thing. That's like, and that sounds dumb, but what else are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then just try to be positive from that. Like it'll work. It'll work. But how? It'll work. So yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like to bring it back is like. You know, try to be logical, but not overthink the infinite amount of possibilities. Because if you're a creative person, you can come up with like, what if I open it and it becomes a clown school? Like, what if I open it and my clients train me? Like, you could have, you're gonna waste your whole. So it's just like,
But I don't want to do it anymore.
Right? You're like, this is not my intentions. Did I just pay you? So yeah, I think. Fear comes from just the overanalyzation of how something can end, you know? And then also spiders. They can if you got that. That's terrible. They have 8 legs.
So I mean,
too many.
And I get, and that's a legitimate way. Ignore it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, ignore it. But so
is it right there? Yeah. I'm not gonna pay attention to that. So that's the way it is. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta say it out loud to realize it's basic stupidity. Is that what we're talking about?
Sometimes that's the answer.
How do you open a business? Have no plan.
Step 1. That's all you need.
Yeah, I got that.
And then
I got no plan.
And then there's some paperwork.
Yeah. So can you remember a time in your life when you were the most scared? And that could go back to childhood, just a time where you were like had the most like fear spike.
I was on a scary plane flight before.
To Europe,
plane
perhaps?
flight, not just a plane that was on the runway. It was in flight. So, yeah, I had a plane that had to like turn around once because these pressure systems had failed.
Oh,
and it was
shit.
like a
Were
panicky
lights-
situation on the plane. They had to dump fuel to land it.
Oh.
And
Oh my god!
and I didn't handle it
Like
well.
they were announcing all of this stuff.
Some of it, but then my paranoia came into play, and I demanded to speak to the pilot. like I could crack his energy. I'd be like, he's lying. I just asked him a question. He's lying.
Wait, did they let you speak to the pilot?
Oh, definitely not.
Oh, okay.
They're like, and if you ask one more time, we're actually going to bring you to the back of the plane farthest from the pilot.
Yeah. I imagine he was kind of busy.
Yeah. She's like, I assure you, Tom's got a family and everything. I was like, his name's not Tom. But it was scary. It was a scary moment. I didn't have it. Like combined all of my fears. It was like claustrophobia, no spiders though. Claustrophobia, heights, and like lack of control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, here you go. And it was scary. I just like it was time slowed down. I just wanted to be on the ground.
When did the fear spike kick in? And here's what I'm asking. So they're making announcements letting you know something is happening. Which announcement spiked you?
Yeah, when they said we don't want to alarm anyone.
The first one.
That didn't work. Anybody else? 'Cause kind of the opposite for me. How high are we? 30. We just reached 30,000. All right. So Yeah, it didn't rub me the right way.
Yeah.
And then from there, it disclosed to us that this pressure system wasn't working right, and they felt
Yeah.
it was safest to turn around. And I was like, that doesn't usually happen.
Yeah, that's unusual.
So we're too heavy to land. Like, just by guessing.
What?
Are they up there? Who's up there? Tom?
Yeah. Wait, I didn't realize that airplane flying. My brother's a pilot. I feel like I should have known this. I didn't realize that flying an airplane was so like Mario Kart ish. You know, like you need to deplete the fuel in order to.
I
land.
didn't like that information
I
in
don't
that
know.
You
moment.
know what I mean? Like, yeah.
And this was pre-Google, so I'm like, I don't know. Is that true? Do we check the people's luggage again? Are we making sure there's? It was just my mind started spinning.
Yeah.
And
You look at the fattest person on the plane. Did you lie about how much you weigh?
Yo, I'm like, did you? Yeah. You didn't pick those shoes, did you? They told you not to bring the shoes. Yeah, it was not a comfortable situation. And then as soon as we landed, I was like, you were scared. I was the most scared though.
Did everyone cheer when you landed? Was it like a big yay?
It was just honestly, it was a freaky vibe.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
even like like when it's like the most turbulent on the plane, like you're up and down, like you're definitely like we need our seatbelts. There's always that guy that's still like
Yeah.
Yeah.
still just reading the paper all calm. Like even that guy was like,
Yeah.
what's happening?
Yeah.
That guy's scared. All right, now I'm worried.
That is kind of a weird turnaround of the way that you're viewing all the people in the airplane. Because when I'm on an airplane, I don't think I'm the only one. I feel like a lot of people are like this. When you get on the airplane, you're like, I don't want to know any of these people. And then you just share a life or death experience with all these people.
Exactly.
And you're bonded now.
Oh yeah, and when we were in the airport, after the whole situation, yeah, we were definitely like, what hotel y'all staying in? We had to stay the night in some random city. I forget what they landed us in.
Yeah.
And then they had to return us out. So we were definitely, I was like fist pounding kids. I was like, we did it together. We were all part of it.
Yeah. That's pretty wild. Man, thank
Yeah.
you. That's a wild story. That's a fear chakra unlocked.
Yes.
For sure. Thank you for sharing that.
And just so you're taking as much as you can from these stories, you can't talk to the pilot. No matter what. I didn't know that. I didn't know
Now,
that.
wait, were you able to implement your tactic of ignoring the fear?
Did not work in that situation. Did not work in that
So this
These
is a
tactics aren't
land-based
foolproof. These are
land-based
just
tactic.
things you want to try to revert to.
Yeah.
But they don't always work.
All right, that's fair. So fear chakra unlocked. Ansley, let's keep it moving.
All right. So, Dave, this is your pelvis chakra. So it's a little segment we like to call My Bad. So it's a chance for you to apologize to a person, place, or thing in order to set your karma back to neutral.
Oh, we just got done doing Dave's Patreon episode. Had a blast. So much fun. Dave, did you have a good time?
My chakra is not only aligned and opened and whatever adjective in there, but they're there. They're there.
Yeah.
I feel the chakras. They're tingling.
And
Nice.
probably the most eerie tarot card reading to date.
Yeah, it was a good one. for
It
sure.
was. I can't believe how accurate it was.
Yeah, I don't have a basis for it, but that was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's how they go, that's crazy.
Absolutely wild.
I'm into it.
Yes. So $1 gets you all of our exclusive content from not only the counter to this podcast, which is 2 Jack Pros After Dark, where we enlighten our guest's shadow self, as well as doing a tarot card reading, but also fight commentary and analysis on Ansley's jiu-jitsu matches. We try to have a good time and fun with that, and any other comedy stuff that we have. Also, check out davidrichardsfitness.com. That's where Dave is training people right in the Paoli, Malvern area. Go get jacked. Change your fitness life. This is a fitness trainer that actually cares about whether or not their people are having a good time and it's meeting their needs emotionally and physically.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Absolutely. So $1 gets you all of our exclusive content. Now we're going to get back to this episode and find out who or what Dave has to apologize to.
I like balance. I like balance. All right. So apology to someone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. All right. That's an interesting. It's like weird. Like how far do you go back? Because it's like
Whatever
that,
you
that
need to
could be
get off.
weird.
Yeah.
Like, well, in second grade,
If that's
Kenny,
what-
if you're listening,
Yeah, if that's what's on the chest, get it off.
Yeah.
it's like I don't even think about that. Well, I haven't slept in 28 years. Whatever the math is.
Yeah.
Apology. Definitely the guy in the pickleball court the other day. The amount of aggression I had on the pickleball court did not align. So sorry, sorry to that guy.
What is pickleball, first of all?
It's
Wait, stop. Ansley, what is pickleball?
It doesn't involve any pickles. I know that. It's I don't
Doesn't
know.
involve dicks.
I don't think so.
Okay, so what is
I didn't
pickleball?
think so
What is
until you
pickleball?
asked.
What is pickleball?
Just when you
some
think you
sort
know.
of dodgeball-ish kind of game.
Okay, Dave, what is pickleball?
So there's two guys that pull their dicks out, and these people have pickles. And it's like if you picture ping pong and you blow it up, but not quite to the size of tennis, and then you put it on like a basketball court somewhere inside. It's where I played it.
Yeah.
And you play it with a wiffle ball and a paddle, and it's like over a net.
Okay.
And yeah, I brought the heat to this guy on a Saturday. So sorry about that.
Wait, this was a stranger? Or
Yeah,
somebody you
yeah.
played pickleball with before?
And now I'm feeling even worse in this moment about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got all serious about the rules. I'm competitive, and he was like being a court general, and I am sound. It's funny how like hypocritical I am. I was like being all like prolific about the Europe story, like you just need the bare minimum. That was in, you idiot.
So that's what it was. It was
no
over in or out.
consistency in my personality.
Yeah. Is so it was that is that what brought the heat? Whether or not it was
it was out.
So that's what it was. Was that the fight? Was that the argument?
Yeah, but he didn't know. He was like, "I'll call it," and I was like, "You won't. I'll call it on my side." That's how, he's like, "Nah, I can call it." I'm like, "The actual rules is that I call it," and then everyone's like,
Wait, so wait, what are the rules? So if
it's the person on their side, it's them. It's their call.
Yeah.
Now, if he disagrees, that's something else. Let's talk
Okay.
about that. But it's technically our side to make the call. So I called it out. He was like, "It was in." I was like, "It was out." He was like, "You're standing there," and then it was just this whole thing.
so the reason why that rule is the case probably is because if it's on your side, you have the best visual. Like
This rule's
Angle?
been in place since the beginning of pickleball last year.
because pickleball is new.
It's new. It's
the hot new game.
Yeah.
The game you guys invented at
and
your
then
gym, and now
I'm
you're
like the
pissed off
asshole
about
that
the
played
rules.
tennis forever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, tennis is whatever. So like, I'm just being like a bitter, just taking my energy on him. So sorry.
Did you
It was
yell
just-
at? Did you yell at him?
Sometimes I'm not aware of the tone of my voice. I'm trying to work on it. I don't know how I'm coming off, is what I'm told.
Is he also jacked?
No. And I timed the pickleball play with a bat. It was like I just came from the weights.
So
So
you
I'm
were
like,
like,
you need a fourth? Yeah, so I try to like tone it down. I try to laugh intermittently.
yeah.
Like keep it nice. But then the ball was out.
Did you?
And he said it was in.
Did you approach him as your tone was raising? Did you close?
I definitely
the,
closed the gap.
You closed the
That's
gap.
what it was.
You closed the gap. Wait. So did you? Wait. Did this?
That's where it went wrong.
Did somebody have to come in between, or did you guys? both
Oh,
have to
no one's
talk
coming in
this-
between. People were like looking at the ceiling, like, did we redo the rafters here? I actually have to go now anyway.
Yeah.
That was going to be done after this point. This was it. Yeah,
Okay,
people don't want to.
What time of the day was this?
Oh, not an aggressive time. It was like the least aggressive time, like noon.
Okay.
Maybe 12:30.
So this guy's probably using his lunch break to come play pickleball,
Yeah, I ruined it.
and you, a jacked man, closed the gap yelling at him.
I'm
over
telling
the
you, it
rules of
was just a
pickleball.
mistiming of blood flow and not knowing the rules, and it just whirlwinded into this. Are you kidding me? It's my call. And then the tone dipped, and it was. I'm sorry.
Wait, you went with the low tone to like that's more that's medicine.
Well, and there was like, it was like, what? Like it was.
Okay.
And the shoulders, like the.
Yeah.
This ended the game. You guys didn't make it past this.
Oh no! Then we did like the fake thing at the end, and then like I played horribly because I'm like
Thinking
petty.
about
Like on that court, I'm petty, and I'm
Yeah.
like just missing, like hitting. It's like if that did go in, you would fucking. Yeah, so it was bad. And at the end, we had to like do the like, good game. That was great.
Yeah.
Run it back? No, okay. Never see you again. Hope not.
all right.
And
Well,
then you walk out together. It's like the longest walk to the parking lot. Like, the locker room is on the first floor. Yeah. No, this is the only staircase. I always remember that.
man, my bad, guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I think it's a well-earned apology from him by you. I mean, that's a good one.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be better.
Nice.
So sorry.
All right, that's a pelvis chakra unlocked.
Yes.
They feel looser, so I don't know.
Right?
Yeah.
Feel good?
Thank you.
All right, keep it going, Ansley.
All right, Dave, we're at the gut chakra now. So how do you move past disappointment in yourself or others?
Man, I think I said something like this earlier in the cast already. Like balance, like allowing yourself to apply the appropriate emotion, but being logical about it, and then understanding. Disappointment in the end generally only hurts yourself. So, you could be upset about something, but, it's nothing productive that's going to come out of that in the long run. So keep it moving, whatever it is. I think that's it.
Yeah, I'm laughing, one, because the ice cream man is taking an
Lingering.
extended, he's like parked outside of our house right now. So if you guys hear the ice cream man in the distance, that's us. That's not in your actual reality. Please
He's
don't
selling the only milkshake of the day.
Yeah.
It's like, I got to break out the blender now. It's going to the speaker. We're just like, and plus I hope I made sense there, but I was thinking about ice cream.
Yeah, I'm just imagining like somebody in their car listening to say, where the fuck is he? I hear him.
Yeah.
Where is the ice cream man? I just want just like a cone, But yeah, that's not you. And we have a follow-up question that we always ask in this section. It just kind of make me laugh because the question I always ask is, do you have, like from your past, either like a sports or a performance arts disappointment that sticks in your mind? And then it made me laugh. Yeah.
I mean, wait. I don't know. Like you're trying to hold, like I'm 5. You're just trying to I'm like, is it karate?
Yeah, karate.
I mean, already what I did disrespected, so I might as well pronounce it right. But, we're like holding this stance in a class full of people, and I had to pee, and I don't know what. I was 5. I don't remember the memory, but it came out on the floor.
Yeah.
That's not rewarded in that situation. It wasn't like, you're brave, you'll do anything. No, it was
He's ruining our
disappointing.
mat.
Yeah.
Man, picking the grass in the outfield in baseball, and then the ball, hearing that crack of the bat and like looking up and just time slows. No. Watching that ball just launch over your head, you're like, this is disappointing.
Well, you were a pitcher?
No, I was in the outfield.
Yeah.
But
just like missing the ball?
I was picking grass out of the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, like sitting on the ground.
Okay.
Yeah, real contributor. I wasn't like, I just kind of like bobbed around from sport to sport, just being like okay, but more or less disappointing.
Yeah.
So I got over it pretty quickly. They're like, high school soccer's not for you, but they have a league that anyone can join. T-shirt league, anyone. And I'm like, that's more my thing. So.
Yeah, what about in tennis? Like that was your sport.
Tennis, I was pretty good.
Yeah,
but still, I mean, you get to a certain point. I mean, I don't want to be like sad or negative here, but you get to a certain point, especially in like an individualized sport like that, where you're gonna be disappointed.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna run into it like somebody that's just better than you. You're gonna be
So what was yours like? Like who? Like what? What was the straw that broke the camel's back, I guess? Like in because like in tennis is a sport where the idea of being broken is prominent in the sport. Like if you're playing against an opponent.
Well, I also wrestled. So I got to an age where I got picked, like 14, I started just wrestling.
Okay.
And that's my way of putting a positive spin on quitting tennis. I was like, here's another individual sport where it looks like I'm putting way more effort out, so I'll go with this one.
Yeah.
So I started wrestling at 14, but I wouldn't say anything broke the camel's back. That's why I like individual sports. They make those lessons are learned early on learning to lose, but also understanding that the work you put in is going to help you win. So, I mean, I always did those kind of sports. And again, if you're really paying attention, like, didn't you just say you suck at soccer and all those other things? Yeah, so it's because I wanted to do the individual sports, I assure you. Yeah. But yeah, I think I'm lucky now I'm talking out loud about it that I learned those lessons early, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I think that's a like learning to lose. Like people don't value that as much as I think you should, because like it is like we talk to our kids a lot about like you should fail. Like if you're not failing, you're not pushing yourself outside your comfort zone. So that's like an important thing to do.
100% truth. Yeah, that's really well put.
Yeah, I wish it was something I was taught as a kid.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, damn, you suck, you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
All right, Mom. It's like, thank you.
it was just part of it. Like, you know, I participated in so many different things. Like losing was just part of it. You just
Yeah.
and winning was part of it too. But it was common, and you worked hard from it, and you kept going, whatever it was. So luckily, it was part of a good culture in that sense.
All right. We'll call that a gut chakra unlocked.
Yes.
Okay, all
All
right.
right.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Ansley, keep
Y'all
it
better
moving.
be learning. All right, this is quality.
All right, Dave, we're at the heart chakra now. What have you learned from grief?
Oh, grief. That everything passes in some regard, or it gets reframed. You know, that even like the deepest moments of turmoil will pass. So, yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, that's what I learned from grief for the most part. And also, I'll say you gotta process things. If you band-aid things up, they're gonna come back in a worse way probably. So, you know, if there's like grief, depending on like the level, like grief, like, oh, the ice cream truck just left and I missed it. Yeah, I mean, you probably don't have to like apply too much of these like tactics, I'd say, but you know, you lose a loved one or a relationship or something like that, you know, you apply as much time processing as you can, and then when it's like getting heavy, you back out of it and distract, and then but you can't like ignore it, and then because that's how bad stuff happens. But that's what I'd say I learned from grief is like, and it will pass and you'll get better from it, but like you got to take it head on, even when it's the worst. You're just like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
So
Now, is there a particular grief experience where you had to apply that, where that sticks out in your mind? If you don't mind sharing.
yeah, not at all. That's why I'm here. Again, if they're not taking notes, I'll be a little upset, but I have no way to know. I don't think so. I don't do a podcast. Can we know?
If they take notes?
Yeah.
We can ask them to be honest about it.
Oh, great. Yeah. In that case, I'll share.
Yeah.
Yeah, lost my father in 2016 to cancer. So that's what I'm pulling this from. That's kind of how I did it. Like, you know, try to process it all, take it all in, and then, you know, distract myself with a run or something, or some type of thing that would take my mind away from it as much as possible, and then take it on, process it, understand it, and then, you know, take the break from it. So
Yeah.
When you say process it, like take it on and process it, like can you elaborate? Like what was that process like for you to
just
actually
really
go into it?
I mean, not to be. This is a comedy podcast. Oh, man. I thought this was going to be funny. Yeah, I mean, it just really understand like that death is part of life, and not. I think it's easy when these things happen to be like, why me? Why like that? No, like these things happen to everybody, not everybody, but they happen, and I'm not a victim of any sort, and it sucks. But like, you know, like just take it on and understand it, and try to just get, you know, through it, and whatever positives, you know, it's not gonna happen right away, but whatever positive you can start pulling from it, you know, try. It's all easier said than done, but that's what you gotta try to do.
And if you, I first of all, let me apologize because I'm going to use insider information to ask this question.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So I apologize if it goes too deep. But you and your dad are really close.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like homeboys, like
And
really.
you know that.
Yeah, very close. Like Ansley and her mom were really close. Her mom passed away last year, and Dave's
Sorry,
the only
Ansley.
person that I know
Yeah.
who was as close to a parent as you are with your mom.
Yeah.
And so.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what was the what did you miss most? What was the hardest thing to process that you had to keep coming back to for the longest?
Yeah, well, that's an ongoing lesson, like because I mean it's 6 years later, and I opened my business last year, and I'm like, it's funny, you'll think like you're in a different place, and that was like terribly hard. Like you know, you better be seeing this seeing this shit.
Yeah.
See what I'm doing. So there's always gonna be moments that come up where you're like, damn.
Isn't it fun? It like I'm saying this, assuming this is true for you. You can tell me if it's not. But sometimes it feels like it's harder, like the good moments, like the positive things.
Absolutely.
You're like,
and you know, but you learn to frame them differently as much as you can, and just understand this is the reality, and it sucks, but like you can't. I think it all circles back to what I said earlier. One question, like if you dwell on it too long, process it, do what you can appropriate, but you can't dwell on things. It's just life's too short. I mean, that's another lesson I learned. My dad died 67 years old. One of my inspirations for healthy living. You're not guaranteed time. So you know, dwelling on things is not a good use of your time.
Yeah. And it's like, I talked to your dad a decent amount too.
Oh yeah.
And great sense of humor. Just a great sense of humor. I just like
He was into the art of it.
yeah, and I just imagine, dude. There's something funny about, because like when your dad passed, that really kicked you into gear with opening up your own business and stuff.
Yeah, and just.
But before he
Moving
passed, he
forward.
was like, you were like figuring things out, kind of. Not, I want to say philandering, but like comedy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Working for other people in fitness, not necessarily loving.
Sure.
Loving it, and then. all of it because because I know how close you were with your dad. Like making your dad proud was something that was big to
It
you.
like lights a fire under you.
Yeah,
almost.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And then as soon as he passed, you start crushing it.
Yeah.
Which is
Well, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I'm like, you son of a bitch. It's a catch-22.
Yeah,
That fire
yeah.
gets lit, but then the person that lights the fire is like, no, I mean, but I think that's like it's a layered lesson. It's not just from, but losing him and being motivated to make him proud, but then the sense of like recognizing like, damn, life is it's shorter than we really realize. So you got to keep it moving in the direction you want, and why not try and don't think too far if the business is going to work or not. Just try it, whatever. I just lost my dad.
Yeah.
Fuck it. It's like, aren't you scared? It's like, no, I have a dead dad. It's like, whoa, that got... and also, I have complete permission from him. Like, it was a weird conversation. I'm like, if you die, I do get to use you for jokes. He's like, yeah, definitely.
yeah, sick. And an inspiration for the name of your
Dead Dad Fitness.
yeah.
It's a niche. It's a niche. Is that the word? It's really, I'm trying to get a nice sliver of the population. And we start off on a sad note. It's a weird assessment. I'm like, your dad's dead, right? He's not. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh my goodness gracious. Yes. So that Dave is a heart chakra unlocked.
It's
Yeah.
like, woo.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
man.
thank you.
Really
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
that.
So
Anthony.
it's deaddadfitness.com. Is that a selfless plug? I don't know how that works. It's .com.
So keep it moving.
All right. Dave, we're at the throat chakra now.
Yeah, right. of course.
So, what is a favorite lie that you have told or that you're currently telling? You get extra karmic points if it's currently in rotation.
Oh man, a lie that I'm currently telling.
Or it can be one from the past. You got a good one.
Let's see. Well, I don't tell any lies. That's the lie. No. Yeah, I don't know. I think probably when I was doing comedy, I would I don't know if it was like fibbing. It was leaving out important information. Like I'd be like, I'm a comedian. And they'd be like, oh yeah, you're a comedian. I'm like, totally. I'm performing all over. I was at Helium this last week, and you're at Helium. What were you doing? I was like, standing against the wall. But I was there observing, doing comedian-esque things. So I don't, definitely when I was doing comedy, I felt the need to put out a different persona, and I guess it could be classified as lying. Looking back on some things where I might try to impress a lady or something, or a friend, or even maybe put out there that positive. Thinking in that regard, or what do they say, visualization. So
Yeah.
I probably fibbed a lot. I never did comedy once.
Wait, so you use comedy to try to impress ladies?
Yeah, that's not a good tactic. is
Yeah.
that? Especially when I'm like, come to Helium. Don't look for me though. Not on the stage. Near the door, the back door. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think so. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It's like a unique thing, right?
I guess so, yeah.
When you're like, oh, I'm just like the other guys. Yeah, I do stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Like all those other people on Sunday nights. Yeah, I mean, I think so. Yeah, so I might have embellished it. That's like a friendly, positive word about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that was a lie that I rode for. How long did I do comedy? 10 years. It's not bad. Oh God.
That's a good longevity of a lie.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just
yeah.
keep that going for 10 years. Solid. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty cut and dry.
Yeah.
I feel better about it. I'll tell you that
Yeah.
much. But I did do comedy.
All right. I think we can
Move on.
keep. I think so.
It's
Did
flowing.
you have any questions?
No. I mean, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like, that's the lie I would tell.
I mean,
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I was like, oh God, don't make me tell any more about the lies. Oh God.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Like what? No, I'm just kidding. No, unless
Start lying about the lying.
yeah. Yeah, Ansley, keep it moving.
All right. So, Dave, we're at the third eye chakra now. So, we're out of the physical and into the metaphysical. So, what is something that you've thought of as separate, but as you've gotten older, you've learned that it's really the same?
All right, I'm not gonna lie. I looked at this question. And I'm like, I'm gonna go so deep. I'm gonna blow people's mind. But I'm like, I don't know. I
Yeah.
really don't know. I don't think I have an answer for that one. Like without like really trying to drum it up. But I try to think about that one. I don't have an answer. Does that chakra stay closed? Is it like in construction?
Well,
Does it block the other chakras now?
Well,
We
it's
ha-
like
well,
a
yeah.
creek. You
Yeah.
know, you might have a little bit of gunk in your creek, so you're not getting the full flow from head to
Two
butthole.
things that would. The tingling is feeling nice though.
Yeah.
Two things that are separate, but now I view as the same.
Yeah.
yeah, you start to realize they are the same.
Oh,
You know.
man. Yeah, I'm not disappointed. You guys have gotten really good information at this point, so
Yeah.
I don't have a. I'm not. I would be.
Well-
I would be not true to myself if I were to make an answer up. I don't have a good one for that one.
Well, let's keep talking about this though. 'Cause
All right,
let's
help
let's
me.
give you some
Help me.
examples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are some examples that come to your mind?
So the one that always jumps to my mind is like friends and family. Like you know when you're young, it's like your bloodline is your family, but as you get older, you realize that
That is a
maybe
good
some
one.
people in your family aren't so cool, and like your
That is
friends
a
are more your
good
family.
one.
Becomes the same.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Kind of wish
what
I thought of
else?
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna be like something like water and fire. No, I don't.
And some
yeah.
people have talked about how they've learned. I forget what exactly it was, but I think it was like learning an art, like playing an instrument, and then I think it was a comedian, so it was like learning comedy, and like the learning process seems separate, but like once you realize like this is how you learn to get good at something, it's really all the same. Like it's a
Interesting. These are all
mastery of
great
skill.
answers. These
Yeah.
are all great answers. Yeah, I mean, on the spot again, I don't think I. Man, that friends and family one really got me thinking. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm gonna have to do some reflecting on that one. That chakra is gonna have to be bandaged up. All right, but I'm gonna have to process it. I understand that. Oh man, I feel you guys are so disappointed. I feel
Yeah,
so
well, it's
bad.
not. It's just that it's
Oh,
never.
look at
It's
you
just.
guys.
It's yeah. It's just.
But they're different in the same, please.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like because as far as
Yeah, help me through it. Come
yeah,
on.
because as far as these
not
are
giving up.
concerned, I feel like this is the one that requires the least amount of I guess that allows for the most amount of like imagination, right?
Okay, all
Because like, how do you learn to overcome fear? Is like, what is this tactic you use in your life? Like, how do you apologize to a person, place, or thing? It's like, who is that person, place, or thing? Like, that's a specific thing, right? These are like things about occurrences in your life. So this is really more about how you see the world. So we're getting into if all of these questions were designed to not only open up our chakras but reveal a human person, right? This is now we're at the part where we're looking at how this person sees the world. I mean, I don't want at the risk of saying the same
So
thing
this would come
twice.
from like my growth and perspective of something.
Yeah.
So like maybe starting the business, like maybe you had some expectations before you did that, and as you went through it, like.
But I don't know if I saw things different, and then now I realize that they were very similar. That's still a concept that, and also, just so you guys know, I do feel dumb right now.
Yeah. well,
Different but the same.
yeah. Well, don't try to think of it too literally, right? Because that might be causing some blockage. It doesn't have to be like a perfect answer.
Yeah.
It just has to be, what is something that you realized wasn't what you thought it was going to be?
Yeah, that's a good way to
Well,
put it.
I will say, like, the lessons I've been learning through opening the business, my own personal fitness journey, dozens and dozens of my clients' fitness journeys is, and I don't know if this is really going to answer your question, but I'm going to say it anyway, is just the idea that, like, I think a lot of people stop at step 1 because they're too concerned about what step 4 is going to look like or be like, when, like, they just need to get step 1 to step 2. And that's been consistent. I think maybe that's what you were talking about. That's been a consistent lesson for me through things like, you know, sometimes you got to lift the weight a little wrong to understand what lifting the right weight is, or sometimes you got to make this error in opening the business to understand the right path for the business, or the business model. Maybe it's not it's different than what it was when you thought. So, but you can't figure out what that step 5 was until you did step 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm realizing is, like, and then I think those situations slow people down sometimes in decision making and things like that. So that's been, like, definitely a consistent lesson where I realize it's the same through a lot of different, you know, avenues.
Perfect.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And you almost got 2 out of that. I
Yeah.
don't know if you noticed that.
Well, it made me think of, and somebody else did talk about this, that like failure and success are really kind of the same thing, because you can't have one without the other.
Yeah, but his was a little bit different. His
It's a
nuance was
nuance.
failure in trying.
Yes. Yes.
That was sick.
Yeah.
Right? And then
Chakra back unlocked.
Yes.
yeah. But then he hit us with the getting to step 9
Yeah.
is the same as going from 1 to 2.
Yeah.
From 2 to 3.
Yeah.
3 to 4.
But yeah. I like
You know?
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
just one
the
foot in
truth.
front of the
I mean,
other,
at least
right?
for me and my experiences with anything, that's what's been very consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yeah.
and that's what I try to do right now. Is like, if I see, let's say, another gym that's at a level that I could imagine being that, I'm like, I can't. That's level 20 right now. Like, let me get to level, like we're saying, level 8, and that maybe my level 20 looks different. I don't know like what my level 20 looks like, but I can't think about that because that's just going to stop me from getting a 9. I need to get the 9 right now.
Yeah.
And I that's again been consistent, like whether it's through my fitness or whatever it is, like, and I think it's been, now that again, you guys get people to say it out loud, and now it's been I guess a personal philosophy or way I do things.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
That's a fucking chakra unlock. That's what that is.
Cool. It was like, it was bandaged it up. I'm like, no, it's good.
Yeah.
Man, you guys helped me work through that. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Nice.
You know, and that also helps us to explain it better to another person that might have, because that does trip that question does trip people up. I think we get there and people are like, I don't want to sound retarded.
Yeah.
Yo, but just in that moment, you guys made me try, and then what happened? We succeeded.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
One step.
That's
then the next.
exactly.
Yep.
That's exactly what we
did
did.
your
We
technique.
used your technique.
Whoa.
we learned fast. Dave.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What is this, Inception?
Yeah.
The camera just stopped, but we're good.
I know.
We're gonna keep going because we'll just use a little picture.
It's a little
We're
picture.
good. We're good.
Yeah? Okay.
We got this far.
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry about that, guys. But
Once we dug out of that chakra situation, we're going now.
Yeah.
We're
yeah,
going.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
ripping.
Yeah.
We're ripping and running. And by the way, do you have time to stick around for the Patreon? It's not as long as this episode, but yeah, we'll have a good time. And
What
all
I'm
right.
saying yes to, but yeah.
yeah.
Which no.
yeah. To remind you guys, $1 gets you all of our exclusive content on our Patreon, which is not only the episode that is counter to this, what we call Two Jack Bros After Dark, but also commentary on Ansley's jiu-jitsu matches and all of the other comedy stuff we put up there. $1, all of our exclusive content. Dave,
Yeah.
are you ready for the last one?
I mean, now I am, because
Yeah.
if it does, you guys got me.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
I love
Crown
it.
chakra. So 2-part question, Dave.
Yeah.
What is one thing you can't give up and why? And what would giving it up mean?
Yeah. I would say definitely a fitness routine.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what would happen if I gave it up. I can't give it up. I can't give it. It's got to be part of me in some capacity. I mean, there's just too many things I get out of it at this point where if I lost it, I feel like I would lose my life.
Mm.
I mean, it is somewhat my life. And not even just because it's like what I do for a living, but I just, stress relief and all these other things where, like, if I had that energy bottled up, I don't know if it'd be good for anybody.
You'd be really mean on the pickleball court.
Yeah, and that was like after I worked
Yeah.
out. So,
Ironically, that's when the shirt comes off.
Yeah.
Exactly. I need it, and that's why I'm so passionate about trying to get other people to discover it.
Yeah.
Because they too can open a gym. No, wait. It's been such a powerful tool for me in so many ways. I can't give it up. What would that look like? That's a scary thought. It would look very unhealthy. That's what I'll say. Mentally and physically.
Yeah, I mean, I remember you when you weren't necessarily into fitness. You were still a fun guy. I mean,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, until you asked me to do 15 pull-ups.
Yeah. You know this story?
I know you guys had some challenges, right? Like some physical sports challenges.
Oh, but there was a very particular physical sports challenge.
A pull-up challenge
that changed Dave Topor's life forever.
I mean, there's some moments that you can dial in.
Yeah.
And,
where did you guys go to? So you guys each had to do 15 pull-ups?
No. We were hanging out at Dave's house.
Okay.
And we would always we'd go to this one open mic, and then we'd always go back to Dave's house, and we would do like freestyle rap and just like all sorts of creative stuff, mock trials, just all sorts of weird improv stuff that we would call like the improv comedians. We call them gay for doing the same shit, but they do it on stage.
Yeah. You guys were doing it in
privacy
your
of someone's home.
Yeah, you guys aren't gay at all. That was totally cool.
It's like, for us, it's like cross training.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For them, it's like their thing.
Yeah.
You know?
We don't just do CrossFit.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, come on. We're athletes. So one of those nights, somehow it came up, the idea that Dave could do 15 pull-ups, and I was like,
easy. No,
the fuck you can't.
And
this is, he wasn't in shape. And this is like, you know how when you used to be an athlete, you're not an athlete anymore, but you're hanging around people that weren't even athletes.
Yeah.
That makes you feel even stronger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dave was all hyped up around being around fucking Veal. You know what I mean? He was just hanging around comedians.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I'm still an athlete. And it's like, dude, no. And I kept like lowering the number.
So Sidney pulled a pull-up bar out of his pocket and was like, go.
He had a pull-up bar that goes on the door.
Frame.
We wiped the dust right off it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I kept lowering. I was like, you can't even do. And I kept lowering and lowering my number.
Looking back, I mean, you're always confident in debating whatever it is.
Yeah.
But looking back, over the top confident. I should have known.
Yeah.
Whatever, do it.
Yeah.
Well, it's
and I was in shape back then, and I was like, Dave, I can't even do, and I would like give him a lower number than the number I just told him he can't do.
Yeah.
Like,
and I'd come back like, do you know who I used to be?
And how many did you do, if you remember?
2? Was it? I did get up the bar.
Bad.
Yeah.
It was bad, but it was
Pulled
like
a shoulder.
Yeah.
Got injured.
Yeah.
But then he was like,
life changed.
never again.
Yeah.
It
Turned my
changed his
phone
life.
off for a week.
Yeah.
Cue the Rocky music. Driving by the art museum. Like, is that Dave?
Yeah. Stop comedy. Now he's jacked as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I fought like a heckler after that. I was just things got weird.
Yeah.
But you go through that.
He did.
You go through that.
Oh wow, what a world. All right, man, Dave. So that was it, man. How do you feel?
Yeah, that was great. That was
Awesome.
great. Yeah, it was obviously so good to see both of you, but great show. I feel my chakras are
Nice.
opened.
Sick. All right, so we're going to hop over to the Patreon in a bit. Check out David Richards Fitness if you're in the area, especially Paoli is where you guys are, right?
Yeah, Paoli, Malvern area. Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely, if you have been trying to figure out how to get yourself into fitness and you just don't want to be around those fucking shitty gyms and those shitty attitudes at those gyms, this is a person that really cares about the way you feel.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the truth. Yeah, David at davidrichardsfitness.com. Yeah, any questions, I'd be happy to help anyone I can. That's why I do what I do.
All right. So check out our Patreon, and we're going to open up Dave's Shadow Chakras over there. $1.
Let's go,
All of our
let's go.
content. Let's do it. We love you guys.
Love ya.
We're
See
out.
ya.
To Jack Rose.